One day, I was scrolling through the dark abyss of Instagram Reels until I found a video that piqued my interest. I couldn't quite explain why, but this odd, seemingly satirical video caught my attention and held it enough for my Gen Z attention span to finish the entire video and series. That day, I went on a deep rabbit hole, exploring the incredibly thought-provoking series made by the creator Lilgerbs. Okay, so you may be asking, Chad, are you about to claim that this random Instagram creator with a rat profile picture and random videos made one of the most engaging and genius series of videos on Instagram? Yeah, I am about to do that. And look, before you click off, let me just give you a quick backstory on how a creator that made videos like this made one of my favorite Minecraft-related series ever. So let's just dive into what this account makes. Lilgerbs is an Instagram/TikTok page that makes eerie, off-kilter videos such as this one. This was the video that actually introduced me to his entire channel. So while the creator often works in funny moments and satirical elements, the creator uses Minecraft to create liminal spaces and to create brutalist architecture that then uses nostalgia and eerie music to create a vibe that is kind of hard to describe, but it works really well for these videos. And I can't say with certainty that these are like horror videos, but the series will definitely incorporate horror, especially when it comes to the music being used. This series is very difficult to put a label on. It's funny, but it's also a little bit freaky and a little bit eerie at the same time. But to further understand the series and this creator, I think we need to start at the beginning. The first video available on this creator's account is building O-Block in Minecraft. Yeah, this is gonna be a weird video. While that is the first video available on Instagram, looking on TikTok, yes, I installed TikTok just for this video. The first video available is actually creating a giant Ishe villager. Wow, the bar has been raised. After that though, Lilgerbs started ramping up his content and constantly uploading. The content was very interesting, but I think the first notable video for our topic today was this video that featured a little bit more of brutalist architecture and was a little bit different. After a while, the videos started gradually ramping up, such as this one that featured a long hallway with Tims on one end, and some other ones that are really scary like this Minecraft vape one. And after these, he started dabbling more in abstract and conceptual ideas. So let's just go over a few videos that pique my interest and might be useful in the future. 1-20, Gypsy Rose Tribute. Okay, not important at all, I just wanted to acknowledge that this exists. 1-24. This video features a pink prism with perpendicular prismarine. It is also frozen on the inside. 2-1. This video features a cobble obelisk. There is farmland on the inside, as well as a mysterious red cube, which is frozen on the inside. This red cube will become very important later. 4-9. The first introduction of the Panopticon. The Panopticon is a theoretical prison design in which the wardens would watch over the prisoners by stationing themselves in the middle of the prison, giving full control and surveillance to the guards. 4-13. The narrator finds a tower and questions how to get across. Luckily, the one in the tower grants them access. 4-28. The narrator finds a timberland and says it's on the inside that matters. The inhabitants also start chanting the boot sturdy. 5-2, my favorite video. It features an eerie red village with a copied but confusing layout, and we are told that the hamburger lady is watching. Yes, the hamburger lady. After finding a tower, the narrator ascends and rings a bell. The hamburger lady is now coming. Yikes. Okay, well, quick fun fact, the song featured here is actually Hamburger Lady by Throbbing Gristle, and this is widely considered to be one of the most disturbing songs ever made. Also, one of my personal favorites. This song depicts a woman in a motorcycle crash, in which her body becomes so badly burnt and disfigured that the town dubs her as the Hamburger Lady. So yeah, maybe not that silly. Okay, let's just move on. Finally, 5-28. The first video of the series is uploaded. Okay, so now that we are fully caught up, let's just cover this series. Instead of referring to it as the series, I will now be calling it the Tales from the Panopticon. This name will make sense later, but I really liked it after this user suggested it on Discord. Also, while we are covering the episodes, I will break it up with some fun facts and analyzing, so grab some snacks, and let's enjoy the Tales of the Panopticon. The narrator informs us that the red cube was stolen, and senses the red cube in a structure. This structure is an icosahedron with a pink door. The narrator knocks on the pink door and this exchange happens.
Who's there?
Frozen.
Frozen who?
Frozen on the inside.
Come in.
After that, the narrator sees the red cube and claims that it's hers. She wants it back, but the villager says she can't and that the red cube will go where it pleases. The narrator then leaves. The narrator decides to go back to you get the idea, this thing, and upon returning, there is a hole where the red cube used to be. The villager says the red cube left not too long ago, and the narrator begs the villager to help find it, as she is worried that it melted on the inside. The villager correctly points out that she was so caught up trying to find the cube, she didn't even ask for his name. We are then introduced to 50, 50, 55. The narrator grabs 50, 50, 55 in the boat against his will, and this exchange happens.
People are all the same.
Why?
Frozen this, frozen that. It doesn't matter.
You don't understand.
I feel sick.
The pair then finds some people on the grass and asks the villagers if they have seen the cube. The villager says that the cube is melted and that it's heading towards the Panopticon. 50 wants to go home and says it's impossible that the cube is melted, and warns that the Panopticon is a very depraved place. The narrator drags him in regardless. 50 informs the narrator that he was actually imprisoned here for 50 years, then another 50, and then 50, and then 5. This isn't how he got his name though. They aren't able to find the cube, so they ask the freaky prisoners. While looking for the cube, 50 finds his old cellmate, Padlock. Padlock was broken by the Panopticon, but they bring him with them because of his valuable information and friendship with 50. Alright, so this will be our first little intermission here. So the Panopticon is actually a pretty iconic structure in this series, and it's even what the Discord is named after, which, yes, I joined. The Discord is an awesome place with many cool people who are very welcoming, and we will be talking about the Discord more next episode, including some of its members, some of which I even interviewed. Okay, let's get back to the series. The narrator is having a hard time remembering anything. Luckily, they know Padlock said the cube is in a town past the city. 50 informs us that he only has 50 years to live, and then another 50, and then 50, and then 5. So he only has 50 years left now. Oh, that's also not why that's his name, by the way, that's a different thing. As they have nowhere to stay and it's getting late, they stay in Notch's mansion. And they worry that if the cube is really melted, everything they know will cease to exist. Then they are interrupted by a buzzing.
Can you hear a buzzing noise?
Yes.
After the buzzing, our frantic narrator tries to find Padlock and 50. 50 is stuck in the Timberland, but they cannot find Padlock. 50 says that the buzzing is from the cube being melted on the inside, because when the cube is melted, the bugs attack. The narrator thinks that the bugs have something to do with her memory loss. 50 then says that they need to find that cube. Luckily, they see a tower up ahead. They try flying past, but the narrator loses her powers, and then they hear laughing from the tower.
Who are you?
Freaky.
Oh, my.
The freaky man on top of the tower reveals himself as Lockpad, and that the real Padlock died years ago. After that betrayal, Lockpad says that they cannot get past the tower because her powers will not work. However, our narrator susses out Lockpad and spots his bluff. crossing the gap with no real problems. 50 then says this to Lockpad.
Fool me twice. Shame on you again.
Freaky.
No thank you.
The narrator vows to return Lockpad to the Panopticon one day. After leaving, 50 remembers something. His cellmate's name was not actually Padlock or Lockpad. It was actually Pocklad, of course. They continue on to the town. Alright, let's take a quick break here. So if you are a little bit lost here, I don't blame you. Essentially, the main character, which we will be referring to as Frozen from now on, as we saw was apparently their name from the start, is trying to find the red cube. In all of the videos discussed before, the cube has always been frozen, and most things are always frozen on the inside. However, after meeting 50, the red cube goes missing, and they try to find it. The Panopticon, Timberland, and Tower are all structures that we talked about before. And Frozen has passed several landmarks that were included in videos as well. It seems like the cube has actually melted on the inside due to the strange occurrences around the world. But if the cube is melted on the inside, it will mark the end of everything they know. So, Frozen really wants to make sure. Now, you may be asking, what the hell is this? What does this mean? Why are you showing us this? Look, there is a lot of weird stuff going on, and it'll make sense down the line. For now, just look at the absurdity of the story. And I will be doing a little bit less summarizing and more analyzing from this point on while we continue on with the tales from the Panopticon. They finally see the town. 50 warns against going in because Lockpad has already lied once, and he says that the hamburger lady lives there and she does not like visitors. Someone then rings the bell. A little villager warns that the hamburger lady will find Frozen, but Frozen gets lost in the village, losing 50 in the process. As you can see in the clip, this is the first instance that we see Frozen thinking about something besides the cube. Frozen damns the hamburger lady, then finds a house in the distance. Inside the house, there's a donkey and a mule, who are also pretty active on the Discord. They tell Frozen that they know she didn't mean to lose 50, even though she made him enter the village, even after he told her not to. After freeing the donkeys, they tell her that the cube is in the Panopticon, and she must go. But Frozen says no, she must find 50 first. Even when her head is asking whether or not the cube is not frozen, she reiterates how important 50 is to her. So a little bit of analyzing here. The feeling of being hyper-fixated on something, like your career or maybe your education, it can really blind you to people who actually care about you. And it seems like our main character is learning that sometimes being with the people who are important is better than trying to fix something that you really can't control. So maybe that's what we're getting here. Just some food for thought. All of a sudden, the narrator hears 50 in the distance, but something is off. Frozen searches the town, and she finds a tower. Instead of ringing the bell, she ascends the tower to find 50 in a very weird situation. She tries breaking the trap, but falls through the world into a normal-looking Minecraft world. Luckily, 50 fell as well, and he's safe. After finding 50, they have this exchange.
I'm going to stay here.
But 50, we can't stay here. I'm going to take you back home.
In the end, did you find out
Find out what?
what was in the cube?
50? It doesn't matter, does it?
Well, only you know that.
Come on, 50. Let's go back.
I can't go back.
"50 says that they cannot go back, and that he would rather stay here. 50 is cold and tired. Luckily, Frozen with her creative powers made a house for them. Before warming up by the fire, Frozen reveals that while she was making the house, she found Pocklad, and this exchange happens.
Believe it. I missed you. I missed you too.
We're all safe.
You get your rest. I'll catch up with Pocklad.
If you didn't notice, you can actually see the red cube at the end of the dock, but besides that, 50 is catching up with Pocklad, and Frozen goes upstairs to sleep. After waking up, 50 tells Frozen that the cube is outside. She can't believe it. Weirdly enough, episode 11 opens up like this.
That was nice. I'm going to sleep forever. Nothing else can go wrong. My life is complete now that I'm here.
This change in attitude is followed by Frozen saying I love you to Pocklad and sleeping next to 50, dreaming about their adventures together. All of a sudden, they are woken by a disturbing laugh. Heading downstairs, they are unable to find Pocklad, and they sense that he was taken and try to find him. Frozen asks why good things must come to an end, and after following the laughter, they find a mud cave with some familiar faces. But they do not allow the pair to enter. The laughing man is too busy laughing, and Frozen does not care. Fifty ushers Frozen in, and after the laughing man stops, Frozen comes barging in. Then, this exchange, which I will play in full, happens.
Our dog's in there.
You haven't changed.
Pop,
You found me.
what's the deal, laughing man? You stole our dog.
You haven't changed at all.
What the hell are you on about? First you steal my dog, then you tell me I haven't changed.
You are weak and possessive. All you do is chase things.
Yeah, things that are mine.
Help me. You can't help the dog back. Please.
I'm just going to take him.
You do that, and you will get banished to the flat realm.
You can't do that. No, I was free. You can have the dog. I'm sorry.
Leave. What?
Oh God, I'm sorry, Pop.
Don't come back. How do you go?
Well, he wasn't there.
That's a shame.
Leaving empty-handed, Frozen lies to 50, claiming that Pocklad was not inside of the room, claiming that it was just the laughing man. Alright, so this is the last episode that we will be covering in part 1. Taking out the absurdity of all of it, the story is pretty potent and relatable, and as you can see from some of the comments that I'm going to be putting on the screen, a lot of viewers can actually relate to the story and resonate with these videos. It is also just a really good use of Minecraft as an engine for creativity and nostalgia, and in my opinion, one of the best parts of these series is the music. There is some amazing artists featured on these videos, and each song I would say perfectly matches the vibe of the episode, and really just takes it to a whole new level for me. I highly recommend watching the series in its entirety, because I don't think I'm quite doing it justice in this video. The reason why I wanted to cover this is because there's not been much talk about this on YouTube, and I really wanted to dissect what it was about, why it was made, and who made it. But I'm definitely realizing that going forward, there is a lot up for interpretation. So fair warning, next video, we will be covering the rest of the series, but it takes a very experimental nosedive on the series. So we will be talking about how I personally interpret it, and how some of the others that I interviewed interpret it. And if you disagree, then that's totally okay. Either way, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave some comments below to discuss this, and please join me for part 2 in the future.